Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks and tell you guys exactly what you can do in order to edit much faster in this game. I have some really good tips in this video, so you guys definitely want to stay to the end of the video. I know this video can help you guys out a ton, especially if you want to be able to edit as fast as possible and also learn how to edit quickly in the shortest amount of time. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. The link for that will be in the description or the pinned comment. Turn on my post notifications and as well comment down below your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys would like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is YoungHumor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate all you guys who do add me. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I want to talk about just the best way to improve your editing speed, so how to be able to edit faster in the shortest amount of time, because learning how to edit quickly in this game can take quite a bit of time if you are going about it the wrong way. And just practicing edits it's not always the best way just to practice any edits. I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do in order to improve the fastest way possible, especially when it comes to editing. And a lot of this can be applied to other aspects of the game. If you want to include aiming, getting better at decision making, anything like that, I think it also applies as well. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I think is really important when it comes to improving your editing speed, is really to understand how good you actually are at editing. And this could be anything. So if you think you're a beginner, maybe you struggle to edit a wall, maybe you keep making doors from the edits, just different things like that. If you feel like you're not that good at editing, maybe you feel like you're an average player, a little bit above average, maybe you feel like you're an advanced player when it comes to editing, I think that's the best way to start. And just to be completely honest with yourself and just kind of assess exactly where you are in terms of how good you are at editing, because I think that's especially important, because something that might help me for editing, that might help improve my speed, might not help someone else just because I'm a little bit better at different edits. I think that's also important to include that when you're good at when you talk about editing and how good you are at editing, to be very specific too. Like, there's different edits that a lot of people are better at. Some people are better at stair edits, some people are better at cone edits. So there's definitely a lot of variance when it comes to editing, and some people are going to be better at other things than other people. So the next thing you want to do that I think is really important as well is you want to focus on the edits that you would use most often in game. And just for a few examples of those kind of edits, it could be anything from maybe cutting the ramp in half. So you go for the edit where you drag it from one corner to the other. You cut a ramp in half. You also have window edits, which really aren't that hard to do. Maybe you struggle at closing them really fast, so you can just practice that. That's something that's super easy to do, not too difficult. So window edits. Then you also have the edit on walls where you edit either the top 3 squares. Maybe you edit the bottom corner 3 on the left or right side. That's also another popular edit that most people do, because most people don't make doors and then they open them up. Most people just edit the wall in a way that you can just walk out immediately. So there's a lot of different edits, and maybe also a cone edit too, where you edit just one of the squares and it breaks. So if you're rushing on someone on high ground, you can use that edit to get on high ground very quickly. So I think those are going to be the most important edits, and some of you guys are going to be better at different edits. So you might be better at the wall, some people might be better at the pyramid. That's just how it is. So you want to try to assess how good you are editing. Then you want to see the edits that you use most often in game, and it could differ too, because some edits that I use a lot maybe are some edits that other people don't use a lot. So it can vary a little bit, but generally speaking, there's going to be some edits that most people use, and those are the edits that I just talked about. So those are the edits that most people are going to be using every single game. So when you want to practice your editing and you really assess to what kind of skill level you're at, one thing that's really important is if you're a beginner at the game, or maybe not even a beginner, maybe you're an average player, or maybe below average, somewhere in that range, it really doesn't make any sense to practice like all the edits you see like the best players do. So you really don't want to try to go for anything crazy. You're not going to get good at the game very quickly at all if you keep trying these advanced techniques when you're really just starting out at the game. Maybe at editing you're not the best, so it really doesn't make any sense to try to go for any of these advanced edits. You're not going to improve very quickly, or you might not improve at all because you're just going to be messing it up, and it's just not going to make any sense, because you want to be able to have the basics down a lot easier before you do anything else. So if you're starting out, you don't want to do all these advanced techniques and all these high ground retakes. You really just want to focus on the main things in the game. So working on your wall edits, having them down, and trust me, when it comes to editing, if you're one of those players who's just really good at those simple edits like pyramid edits, wall edits, as long as you're really good at those type of edits, you could be so bad. You could be absolutely terrible at high ground retakes. You could be absolutely terrible at a bunch of crazy edits, and you still will be able to outperform and also win a lot more games and even more build fights in actual games, just because you're better at something that you would use more often. Because a lot of these crazy edits you see, the chances of you pulling it off in game and actually working are like zero. It doesn't really work. Most of the time you're going to be choking. A lot of clips you see, it takes people multiple times to do it. And on top of that, most of the crazy edits and builds, they leave you open pretty easily. So if you try to like pull it off in game, you're going to get absolutely lasered in the back. It's just not going to work. So you just want to keep it simple, keep it easy, and practice the things that work out the best. But say if you are one of those players who is really good at the game, and you have those wall edits down, you have those cone edits, and even for me, just keep practicing those. I still practice my wall edits all the time, because it took me forever to really have them down, because I would choke them so much. And a lot of you guys might try to go for an edit on the wall. You edit the corner threes, so like the bottom corner left side 3 or the corner bottom right side 3, and instead of going for that edit, you accidentally make a door. And it completely messes you up because it slows you down, because you have to stop, open the door, and then run through. And that is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to editing. So working on wall edits, I think, is going to serve you the most justice no matter what skill level you are, and especially if you're in the range of below average or maybe average player, even a little bit above average. I think those edits are going to serve you the most justice. But say you are one of those players who's extremely good at editing, you're one of those keyboard warriors and creative, and you're just extremely good at all sorts of edits, then I think it's going to be very beneficial to practice a lot of those advanced techniques, because you're already going to have cone edits down, you're already going to have these simple edits down very easily. So what you want to do is you want to practice the edits that are a lot harder. Maybe look on Instagram, look on YouTube, find different retakes that are very challenging to do, and just practice them over and over again. Not necessarily you'd actually do them in game, but since you are really good at the basics and all those kind of edits, it just makes sense that you would want to try something like that just to try to improve your editing speed. Because if you're able to do something that hard and do it very consistently, then you should be able to do a lot of the edits in the game without really messing up at all. So that's just what I think about that. I think just practicing the harder edits is going to help you guys out a ton if you already have those basics down really, really well. And I also think the same is true for editing courses. I see a lot of people do editing courses that really aren't good at editing very much. And I think this could be a big mistake, because I think it's a lot more beneficial to go into creative, place like 10 or 15 walls in a row, and then just practice editing the walls in a row, instead of just going into a edit course or something like that, where you have a whole bunch of different edits that you're not really good at, and it really just doesn't help you out that much, because you mess up every single edit over and over again. So it really doesn't do too much justice. But the good thing is there's so many editing courses out there that you can find a lot of these beginner courses that really, or even if you just want to focus on editing walls and pyramids, stuff like that, there's a ton of editing courses where they have all that stuff kind of lined up. It's just really helpful, super useful to do. I use them all the time. And then you also have those advanced courses if you ever want to try those out and maybe improve your speed that way. So all in all, the absolute best way to improve your editing speed as much as possible in the quickest amount of time is really just to have the basics down as good as possible. And some people might say that's kind of obvious, but actually no one actually practices it. They always try to go for the crazy edits that you see on Instagram, or the crazy edits and builds that you see on YouTube, and those really don't help you get better at the game any quicker. And if you actually want to get good at the game really fast, just practice the simple edits, practice the simple builds, and I guarantee you, if you have those down very, very well, you're going to be better than easily 80% of the players in the game, and you're going to be editing much quicker and also winning a lot more games because you're not going to be choking your edits, because you're going to be practicing the edits that you would normally use every single game. And that's just the best way that I think you should go about it. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.